Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, Gautami.
Hi, Narmada. Hi. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi there. Hi, Gautami. Hi.
Hi, Sheila.
How are
Guys,
you?
how are you? How's everybody?
Everybody's doing great. Gorgeous, gorgeous weather on the East Coast. But I guess so everybody from the East Coast or people from all over now?
Texas.
And I have a friend from London.
Joining on the call. Oh, how lovely.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
And Texas, Jayashree is there. I could recognize Jayashree and Annie from Texas. Shailashri from Houston, Texas.
Namada, can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me okay?
yes,
Okay.
Jagruti.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Thanks, Manish.
So, shall we start now?
I guess so. Hold on. Let me make sure. I'm watching. If somebody comes in, I let them in. I started recording. So you go ahead, please.
Okay.
Everybody, please stay on mute. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all. I welcome everyone to this book release meet today. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation and be here with me. For those who don't know me, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Narmada Punithavelu from Tamil Nadu. At an early age, I realized the importance of learning and education that kept my career connecting with education. I have worked as a professor of English in India and the US. Having built a successful education business in the US, I have recently started writing. Breaking Boundaries is my debut book. In this collective biography, I had dealt with the lives of 5 amazing women who are my special guests here. I welcome you all to meet my special guest, Dr. Madhulika Kuha-Thakurta, Ms. Sheila Murthy, Ms. Jagruti Panwala, Ms. Gautami Vemula Kijo, and Dr. Nimisha Shukla. These women were born and raised in India and migrated to the US for various reasons, but all of them shaped themselves as empowered women. I have traveled along with their life details and learned a lot from that journey. My book would help the readers to understand the reality life of migrating women with their specific experiences. It focuses on how they travel through all the complexities of life and became powerful women and role models. The short biographies are an attempt to reveal their love for humanity, the roles they played in society, and to show how they stand as symbols of their country's pride. They inspire us with their deeds, words, and legacies. Breaking Boundaries might offer help for immigrant women, encouraging and invigorating them through the observation of the lives of these 5 women. I would like to introduce my guest here in detail, and I invite each one of them to share a few words with us. I would like to start with Sheila Murthy. I want to say a few words about her before she starts giving her speech. Advocate Sheila Murthy, a Harvard Law School graduate, being open and honest plays an important role in giving other women a voice. Born in Baroda, she lived in many places in India as growing up with her father's military responsibilities. She is a president and founder of Murthy Law Firm, through which she helps various businesses and individuals with immigration matters. When she sees people with their immigration struggles, she considers it as her own and helps them to change their lives. She educates communities on their rights. With her legal help, philanthropic services, and entrepreneurial skills, she has inspired and empowered many women in the US and India. She has been recognized and acknowledged for her talents and services to the community. She was listed as one of the top international corporate immigration lawyers, and she had accumulated various awards for her accomplishment. The list of her awards is so long. Her bold and powerful speeches influence society towards positive actions. What could fence the wind? What could cover the sea? what could cause a willing woman who always wanted to help others. That woman is none other than the vital Gail Sheila Murthy. I invite her to give her valuable speech here.
Thank you so much, Narmada. It's such a pleasure to see all of you this afternoon. I'm so honored to be included with all of the other incredibly impressive women. I know often people use the term ABCD in a negative connotation for Indians, and you're all familiar with it, the American born confused Desi, but I always like to twist everything on its head, turn lemons into lemonade by using the term ABCD to say awesome, brilliant, caring, and dedicated. That is how I would describe each of you, my fellow honorees, and each of you that is making time to join us and support each other along life's journey. So when Narmada asked me to speak just for a couple minutes on like women's empowerment, I thought, women are about 50% of the world's population, in fact, more than 50%. And so women's empowerment is really human empowerment, because if 50% of any population of any part of the world does not feel appreciated and valued, then how can human civilization truly progress and leave a lasting legacy or impact in the world? So women's empowerment is intricately connected, intrinsically connected as well with women and our growth and achievement and accomplishments. Not only are we so successful in the workplace, but we are also the COO, the chief operating officers in each of our homes, whether it's with our spouses, our children, our in-laws, our parents, whether you live in families jointly or separately in America. But it's really so important to think and feel that we are powerful and empowered. I remember reading about the great American philosopher, Henry David Thoreau, who once said, "It's not what you see that's important. It's not what you look at that's important, but what you see." So what do we see when we see ourselves? Do we see ourselves as strong, powerful, truly capable of making a world of difference in the people we interact with on a daily basis in our work or in our families, with our friends and with each other? Or do we see ourselves as not as powerful? Everything is in the mind. So what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve, we've all heard that. And so not only are women now leading in STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, and math, but also in STEAM, as it's called, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, and business, and finance, and music, and law, and every other field of human endeavor. So I believe that everything is in our minds. If you visualize yourself as the master conductor, we will feel more powerful and carry that, and our children will learn to absorb that from us. Similarly, we see ourselves as not feeling empowered and powerful, we will then leave that on the next generation and people we interact with. So I feel like I'm preaching to the choir. Every single woman here and every single person here is people who support each other. And Narmada's book is all about each of us helping each other and empowering and inspiring each other. So thank you for this opportunity. And I'm very excited to hear from each of the others on the topic that Narmada has given us to talk about. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sheila Murthy. That was a wonderful speech. And yeah, as you said, yes, I want to listen to the others also, to what they are speaking, what they have in store for us today. Now I would like to introduce my next guest, Ms. Gautami Vemula Kijo. Ms. Gautami Vemula Kijo has many faces in society, such as social entrepreneur, activist, community leader, and speaker. In short, she's a woman who is on her path to change the world. Gautami graduated with a master's degree in both psychology and counseling from the University of Southwest New Mexico. She worked as a child abuse investigator and learned the nuances of child protective services. She's very active in many organizations, and some of them were founded by her. She strongly gives a voice against anything that harms society, especially when it comes to women and children. Her goal is to inspire, empower, and impact. That led her to work as a protector. She safeguards many families entangled in child abuse issues. Texas community recognized her with many awards and honors for her social work. Her premier counseling organization, Color Me Safe, serves North Texas with tailored services and professionalism for child protection issues. This terra tender woman acts like Mother Earth in protecting the children and families. She's here to share some of her moments with us. I invite Gautami Vemula Kijo now.
Good afternoon, everyone. Narmada, thank you so much. I'm so humbled and honored to be included with this group of amazing trailblazing women, and congratulations to you on this wonderful milestone. So thank you for including me in this book. I hope whatever I'm about to say resonates with each of you. You know, as long as we're alive, you know, each of us is going to face some sort of adversity if we haven't already. And honestly, it's inevitable. You know, my experiences as a first generation Indian American woman has taught me, wow, so many lessons, you know, some good and, you know, some bad. And I do know one thing, I have a very strong faith in Shakti, and it's that strength that's helped me overcome these obstacles and challenges in my life. And, you know, we may not really realize this, but each of us possesses that inner strength. And it's that strength that leads us to a path of resiliency. And we may not realize it, but we each have it. And I leave you with just a few of these final words, you know, own your identity and own who you are. Own your experiences because you have nothing to be ashamed of. Own your truth because if you believe in something, make some of that good noise. And be your authentic, true self. And don't ever be afraid of being judged. And at the end of it, don't be a footnote because your story matters. And I ask each of you to continue to inspire and empower and impact the world in your own special way, because each of you was blessed with a beautiful gift. And some of those gifts are open today, some of those are open tomorrow, and some of those are never open, but you have that gift to open. And please unopen it, unwrap it, and show your dreams and share it with the world. So thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Gautami Vemula Kijo. Thank you so much for the wonderful speech. Now I would like to introduce my next guest, Dr. Madhulika Kuhatakurta. American astrophysicist and scientist Dr. Madhulika Kuhatakurta started her life journey in Kolkata. With her questioning and listening ability, she devoted her life to the study of science. She completed her PhD at the University of Denver. Her passion for science led her to NASA. She has focused on understanding the sun as a star and its influence on the planet Earth. She has been involved in 5 Spartan 201 missions abroad space shuttles to study the solar corona in white light and UV radiation, and she has authored over 70 publications. Today, with her knowledge and experiences, she's guiding young scientists and students across the globe, directing programs as a spokesperson for NASA's scientific missions in the heliophysics division. Becoming an American scientist never made her oblivion of the fact that she's still a Bengali. Her love for Rabindra Sangeet and the Bengali language will never die at any moment of her life. The Sun Lady, who devoted her life to find many facts in the solar field, which helps humanity today. I welcome Dr. Madhulika Kuhatakurta to have few words for us here.
Thank you so much, Narmada. I still remember when you first called me and I was kind of taken aback because most of the time, you know, journalists, writers kind of are not paying attention to scientists or trying to promote the field of science. I said, why would she even care who I am and what I have to say? So absolutely honored to be here with all these amazing women. And you asked me to talk, you know, give some sort of women empowerment advice. And so I kind of structured my thinking along those lines. And this, you know, opening of the book couldn't have been choreographed on a better day for women empowerment. You know, all female and part Indian Kamala Harris as being ushered as the Vice President of the United States. It's an amazing moment for us. And I feel that if my actions personally inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, become more, then I have been successful. And my advice to women is do not follow where the path may lead. Instead, go where there is no path and leave a trail behind. And as you will hear, I will go through kind of these words of wisdom guided by a lot of Tagore's philosophies, poems, and music, along with our Vedantic philosophers. And in those words, these are quotes I have used in my life. I still do. And this is one. If I can't make it through one door, I will go through another door, or I will make a door. Something terrific will come, no matter how dark the present. I say to, I hope, our young audiences, because we are a mature audience, women, we all have achieved, whether our story is written or not. But for the younger aspiring ones, I say, get out of your comfort zone, because the toughest part is really taking the first step that sort of gets you out of the boundaries where you feel cocooned and comfortable in. Take small steps, put yourself in a new environment, and we have all done that. Do something that scares you, consider other points of view, and ensure that you don't pick the safe choice. And so I'll go with another quote from Tagore. Let me not pray to be sheltered from dangers, but to be fearless in facing them. There comes a time in our working lives when we get too comfortable. This familiarity almost works sort of like a hidden trap, making you complacent. It's really important to keep trying new things. It is the key to opportunity and discovery. And in my ripe old age, I still try to practice that. Another one I love. If you shut the door to all errors, truth will be shut out. These are just profound. I know sometimes they appear as cliches, but it's important to every once in a while think about what was meant by that. And it says, learn from your mistakes, own them, try and work out how you can improve so that these mistakes does not or do not go repeated. Another one. You can't cross the sea merely by standing and staring at the water. Just again, that complacency and our response to the deadlines to meet goals and achieve. But nothing will get done till you take the action of doing it. And so just, few months ago, I took myself from my comfortable job at NASA headquarters and went to NASA Ames across the coast and spent 3.5 years by myself, maintaining a long distance marriage, home, and job. So we have to put ourselves in those shoes. And then Tagore said again, if you cry because the sun has gone out of your life, your tears will prevent you from seeing the stars. What does he mean? See the bigger picture without getting caught up in negative dialogues, of which we have been doing too much, too often, and excuses that we give. And then that will really sort of elevate us to see what we must do to achieve something much bigger than those small details. I try to limit the word impossible from my vocabulary. No matter how big a challenge, they can be resolved with strong intentions, dedications, resolutions, tenacity. We have to keep trying. When I'm working on a mission, with the right intentions, I may face hurdles, and I have faced hurdles, but I will make it in the end. That's the perseverance. Important is not to lose focus, change directions, or give up. We know that every problem is a challenge, but it can be overcome when you have that strong resolve. I think all power, as has been said by Sheila before me, is within us as individuals. One can do anything and everything, and we have to believe in that. And I want to end with sort of note on STEM, as Sheila introduced. Many schools have wisely prioritized science, technology, and engineering and math in their curriculum. But in our push to teach the cold, hard, and rational, we should not forget the humanities, those who are best prepared for the future, and this is my word, for our younger community, would have mastered technical and human skills, soft skills, and contextual skills that make us complete. Absolutely as a woman, but more importantly, as a human being. And really thank you for this opportunity, Narmada.
Thank you, Dr. Madhulika Kuhatakurta. That was surely a very inspiring speech. And thank you so much for that wonderful speech. Now I want to invite my next guest here, Jagruti Phanwala. Jagruti Phanwala moved to the US with her family from Surat when she was 15 years old. It was not an easy move for her at that age. She struggled with her family in many ways to get adjusted to the new society. Those struggles taught her the realities of life. She learned independence, how to stay strong, and how to be focused, above all, how to be empowered. Today, she stands as a successful woman who inspires and empowers others. As a teenager, she started her profession working in a motel. She owns several motels in the US today. She became the first female president of the Asian American Hotel Owners Association, the largest hotel owners association in the nation. As a trailblazer, this history woman did what other women couldn't do for 30 years in that association. Graduated with a finance degree from East Stroudsburg University, Pennsylvania, she learned many strategies on the finance and business side. She founded Wealth Protection Strategy, where she is helping various clients with their financial needs and support. This fortune river shares her success with others to help everyone to be prosperous. She accumulated many awards for her financial service, leadership qualities, and unique talents. I invite Jagruti Phanwala to say a few words for us today.
You are on mute.
Yep, thank you so much. Thank you, Narmada. And it's very nice to meet all of you via Zoom. And I'm hoping, Narmada, at some point when we're out of this COVID, hopefully soon enough, we'll be able to meet everybody in person. But what a historical day. I'd like to reiterate whatever other speakers just mentioned about what a historical day it is today. And for us to have the release of this book on the day like this, I think is just a proud moment, just not just for the women, but also for our Indian American women. So I'm very proud today, and I hope all of you are too. I don't have a big advice, but what I can tell you, what my experience has been, what challenges that I've had to go through, and what are some of the ways that I have been able to tackle through some of the challenge. one thing I'll tell you that, growing up in India, and I think most of you have been born and raised in India, I realized that 30 years ago, 40 years ago, our parents, the main thing for the girls specifically was to train them to be a good mom, to be a good wife, to make sure that they are taking care of family, which is really, really, really important. But that was really the priority. And the way I grew up was a little bit different. I was from middle class. I was born in Surat, India, and I came to America at age 15. But my dad had a very different vision. And we're 3 sisters and 1 brother. But since we were little, my dad always encouraged all of us. And me, I personally remember that it was never about a gender. It was always about, as long as you work hard, you are true to yourself, you're taking care of your family. Nothing in life is impossible, but life is going to be tough. But nothing in life is impossible. This was my upbringing since I was little. So when I came to the United States, and when my father purchased his first business, I wasn't just working for him; I became his partner. So that business sense and having that upbringing of nothing in life is impossible was instilled in me right since I was little. I never actually saw myself different from a male. As far as the work ethic or being successful, I was never even that type of thought process it was not in me. So when I joined the hotel industry and I joined the association, which has about 20,000 members and had about 90% of all the members were male and 10% were female, I recognized that there's a lot of progresses that needs to be made. So when I joined the association, my purpose was to bring more and more female participation within the industry and get them up to the leadership levels. Well, happy to say we have about 40% of our members now are female hoteliers. And when I became the chair of the association, it was a big election. I went against or my opponents were 2 males. And it was a tough election, but you know what? I believed in myself. I said, this is something that I'm passionate about. And I know that for me, being in this position, it's not just for me, but I have a 16-year-old daughter. My daughter was 12 at that time when I made a decision, but I knew that it's going to help her see that things are possible in life. And as long as you work hard and you have your focus and you love what you do, you can do anything you want in life. And my winning or becoming a chair in 30-year history, only female to ever do it, with 20,000 members, was a monument for not just for me, but I think all the women in specifically in the business community. So that's just like my little story, but I think I wanted to bring that out because again, I'm not I'm not a person who is going to give a lot of big advice, but I want people to learn from me, just looking at my examples that I didn't speak English when I came to America. I was in Gujarati medium. I was from middle class family. I didn't really know much about life, but I had to navigate myself, and I had a lot of support from my mom and dad, specifically my dad, who was my mentor, and he's still currently my mentor right now. And I think it's important to have your family together, because your family will always be there no matter what. But that's just a little bit of things from me, Nirmala. And once again, thank you very much. And I much appreciate the opportunity to be here with all of you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Jagruti Pandwala. That was so nice. You can do anything what you want to do in your life, that you showed it through your life. That's a wonderful, you're standing here as a wonderful example. And thank you so much for that speech. Now I want to introduce my next guest, Dr. Nimisha Shukla. I hope she is here. I don't see her. Is she here, Dr.?
She's in.
Okay. I want to introduce Dr. Nimisha Shukla. Dr. Nimisha Shukla emigrated to the US in the 90s with her MD degree in pediatrics from the GS Medical College and KEM Hospital, Mumbai. She has taught at the University of Bombay and Michigan State University. She completed her fellowship in London. She worked at Mid-Michigan Regional Medical Center. Around this time, this medical doctor was pulled into entrepreneurship when she saw the need in the society. She indulged in telecom business to help the Indian community to connect to their families back home. Fascinated by the power of radio, She connected Indian Americans to assimilate into the mainstream society of America and to maintain links with their heritage. She became the first South Asian female broadcaster in the US, and with her WWRL radio station. Also, she served as an advisor for Radio Machine's USA operations. Dr. Shukla founded the Indian American Women Entrepreneurs Association to support women who want to become entrepreneurs. As a physician, she never stopped helping people. Her 7 Days Pediatrics is operating in 3 locations in New Jersey and is helping many families in her community. Nimisha has been an elected Democratic Committee woman in Edison Township, New Jersey. Like the other women in this forum today, she stands as a role model by giving back to the community she lives in. I'm happy to invite her to share few words with us.
Thank you, Narmada, for such a nice introduction. Today, breaking boundaries, what a day, right? To break boundaries.
Yes.
So, most of us, most of the women are breaking boundaries in every single domain that they touch today. And I want to state from my life example that there are 4 things that I see they are very important. 2 of them are often talked about a lot. One is letting STEM education be there with women. And the second one is mentoring other women that come in your life. So I'll just pull back 100 years ago. There was a big movement of empowering education for women. And we started educating women as a society. And during Obama administration, we have actually turned now to other side. And now if you look at all the bachelors, more than 50% are women. And men are only about 47, 48%. So we really reached that milestone of educational empowerment for women. Then came about 50 years ago, a big movement of economical empowerment for women, and women started working. And that is also currently, it's a surprise, but more than 40% of the household, major breadwinner is woman, not men. So we have reached these 2 milestones. Now, the third milestone that I think is less talked about, and it's very dear to my heart, is emotional independence of women. And we have a lot of work to do there, because this is not something that we can legislate. This is not something really that men in the society can give us. This is something that we women have to dive deep inside our heart and give that emotional independence to us. And that's how we are going to break the third barrier and be able to, come out and equalize the field. Some of the glass ceiling which is sitting is because we have not been able to, make ourselves emotionally independent. I'll give you a simple example. Like, I run 7 Days Pediatrics. And when any of the women employees' child is sick and they take off, they ask for holiday or off, then my supervisors will say, oh, that's such a difficult time. They always take off, this, that. But if a man employee asks for an off to take care of a child, the same supervisors will say, oh, how nice is he to contribute, So these are the examples that we have to start breaking. And it only can happen from us, that we have to come out and give that emotional independence to us and, say that, no, it's okay for them to contribute in the household responsibilities. And the last but not the least is financial intelligence. A lot of work needs to be done on this for financial intelligence for women, because we are not really, educating women right from middle school to have very good financial intelligence. Today, even today, you will see in households where the money is invested, how money is grown, what new frontiers are broken, what new investments categories are entered into by the household wealth, is that decision is not made by women, and women are not educating themselves to be a sophisticated financial investor. And I think that is very important. We all know that money is power, and if you don't have that intelligence, you are somewhere left behind. I want to say about founding this Indian American Women Entrepreneurs Association. One of the important thing in my heart was that by having this association, we change expectation for the entire world, and especially society of Indian American, of when a girl child is born, we don't think about when is she going to get married and whom she is going to get married, but we start thinking how many households she's going to support by being an employer. And that is the reason why Indian American Women Entrepreneurs Association was founded. And in the end, about 150 years ago, women stood up against domestic violence, and standing up against domestic violence was the revolution that led to all other independence for us. And I think founding more and more of Women Entrepreneurs Association is in the end the evolution of that revolution that we created. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Narmada. And if you have any questions, I'm here.
Yeah, we are doing the question session after, a few moments after this. Thank you so much, Ms. Nimisha Shukla. That was a very, inspiring speech, and also a lot of information about your organization and education about women. Thank you so much. Now I want to take a few moments to read chapters from, read passages from each chapter, and I'm going to make it very short. So this will give you a glimpse of what is there in my book. Chapter 1, Vital Gale Sheila Murthy. Indian parents have firm ideas about what their children should study at university. As a middle child, Sheila broke this rule. She followed her heart. Her sisters Jayashree and Suman took the path of medicine for their careers, and Sheila chose history. It brought turbulence to the family. What? Going to study history? Said her father. What would you do with that? Studying history will not take you anywhere. At least studying English literature would make you an English teacher. Nothing can be done with history. Daddy, I can't do what I don't like. The right thing for me is to study history. Srinivas saw the true passion blinking in her eyes. He did not want to be an obstacle to her dream. He reluctantly and unhappily agreed to her choice, thinking that this child will be poor and hungry, unlike her two physician sisters. Her high school teacher, Ms. Savita, also tried to persuade Sheila. Sheila had disappointed her teacher, but she was very clear and determined to do what she wanted. Her strong will couldn't be shaken even at that young age. Chapter 2, Terra Tender, Gautami Vemula Kijo. Enough was enough. All came to the surface. Gathering courage, I reached out to my parents for help. I opened up for the first time after long struggle of my mind war. She suffered many sleepless nights for several months. What am I going to do? I have nothing at this point of my life. Her traumatized condition made her parents unhappy, but their care helped her to heal. Her numbness disappeared, replaced with love and restoration of her faith in God. She was able to move forward. Her family stood by her side. That experience changed her life, as she discovered that when someone helps, life changes. Why not that help come from me to stop others' pain? When one door closes, another one opens. Gautami was blessed with her talents. She used the rope of education to climb the ladder of her life. Chapter 3, Sun Lady Dr. Madhulika Kuhatakulta. Lika's father was a freedom fighter who fought against the British rule of India during his college days in Bangladesh. Listening to her father's grief and observing through his writings the struggles he went through in such a crisis, Lika joined choir groups both in Bombay and Delhi to sing Bengali patriotic songs to raise money for the freedom fighters in East Pakistan. She even made a promise to her father that someday in the future, she would accompany him to Bangladesh when it becomes a free nation. She spent her teenage years sampling the books in her father's library. The reading list ranged from existentialism and philosophy to novels and poems from around the world, texts that would answer her question and shed light on her doubts to discover the truth. She saw religion as a dogma and was seeking to quench her profound spiritual thirst. In her quest, she discovered science as a true religion. Eventually, life taught her that love, compassion, and humanity are the path to spiritualism. Chapter 4, Fortune River, Jagruti Panwala. Dinesh Panwala made Jagruti a partner, giving her the same opportunity that was given to his son Anil. That economic participation had an impact and taught her the importance of gender equality. Dinesh always insisted that his daughters have their own business and be independent. It brought her awareness of how important it is to be an independent woman. Courage and drive moved them to build a better future, all to survive and thrive. The family stayed in the motel and worked. When Dinesh Panwala was looking for help for his new venture, who would be the better person other than Jagruti? Jagruti went to university, came back to the motel to clean, manage, did the night shifts at the front desk, and got up in the morning to go to the university. She knew well why her family made such an effort. We had no choice other than surviving in this country, and we all supported each other. I was primarily on the business side, which laid a strong foundation for my skills in the hospitality industry. Chapter 5, Limitless Sky, Dr. Nimisha Shukla. Nimisha encouraged all the residents to join her in making Edison a better place for families. In her view, women have both advantages and disadvantages in certain areas. The advantage is people mostly underestimate women. Still, men rule every field and they think women cannot handle formidable challenges. Considering that notion, I acquired the market advantages silently. I go after the competition when they ignore me and not considering me as a real threat in the competitive market. It is in the minds of the people who looked at me, but not in Nimisha. Their attitude deceived them, not me. I use their attitude to get what I want. It is like the turtle wins the race using the attitude of the rabbit. We have to capitalize on these advantages. I hope that just gave you a little bit of what is there in the chapters. And now I want to, I hope I want to open the discussion forum. If anybody has question to any of this guest here, please come forward.
I would suggest you can just send a message. I mean, you don't have to send a question, just message that you have a question. Then you can open your mic. That way, not too many people talking at the same time.
Okay.
Hi.
I'm monitoring the chat window. So anybody has question, anybody want to ask question, can just message.
Thank you,
And
Mani.
then,
I'm just going to go with the audio if it's okay with you.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, yes.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody. And I am so glad this forum is here, especially today when, it's such a historic day. Before I would like to ask just a few questions to our distinguished ladies here, I would like to first thank Narmada for coming out with this wonderful book and also for sending a message which is living is learning. And that is so appropriate, where we really need to be positive. So my name is Shanti Murali, and I actually teach biology and, for a community college over here in Dallas. And rightfully, when I was listening to all of you, how you had pursued your passion, my family was full of doctors and I was like a black goat there. I deviated a little bit and I decided to pursue biology. Okay, so I am in that lane and I'm right now teaching biology for community college and not big universities. So thank you again for giving this opportunity. And I just had one question to all of you. What keeps you motivated? What is our self-motivation? And how do we give each other a mental pause if things go wrong? these two can be connected to each other. Thank you.
I'm sure the others can speak as well, but whenever people ask what keeps you going, I think if your work is your passion, if I often give the story of the 3 bricklayers. One says, I'm just paving bricks. The second one says, I do whatever my boss tells me. And the third one says, why, lady, can't you see I'm helping to build one of the greatest cathedrals that was ever built in the history of civilization? And I would have made that possible. So if each, at least at my work, I think that I am changing each human being's life in a deep and meaningful way. And I'm so excited to wake up every morning and change lives and help people and make a difference and empower them in a very meaningful way. And sometimes my husband jokes, I say, even if I'm lucky to live till 120, I'm going to keep doing this work, even if it's for free, because it's so exciting. It's not that you're doing it to do it for self-fulfillment or ego or anything else. It's truly, if each of us can find passion and purpose in our lives, and I think Madhulika referred to it in her life, finding passion and purpose. And I think all of the people interviewed today said that there was something that really was important. I know that's what I felt, and I will yield to the other incredible women here.
Yeah, I'll add a little bit, and I'll add pretty much what Sheila just mentioned, that, find what you love, because if you do something that you love it, then you'll never complain about it, in my opinion. I think follow your passion, follow what you love. I found 2 things in my life when it came to professional, the hotel industry and the financial service industry. And I fell in love with both. I'm a very much of a number person. So for me, the accounting, all that, now that's different from, for what other speakers are doing. But I think it's about you as an individual, find your passion, find what you really enjoy in life, and I think follow that path. And I think as long as you do that, you're not going to wake up in the morning and say, oh, I've got to go to work and I will come back this time. It's going to be more productive, and you'll feel good about it at the end of the day. Thank you.
So I'll give another take on it. I absolutely love what I do, love learning and love sharing that. But there's another take. Life always doesn't give us the opportunity to pursue something that we love. So I would spin that on its head and say, love whatever comes your way. And I've done that. Even in science, you might think of me as an astrophysicist, but my first love was cosmology. In fact, Roger Penrose, right, who just won the Nobel Prize, I still remember in the late 70s, early 80s, cosmology was such a brand new field, reading this little book, understanding, black holes. And these were all mathematical equations. That's where my passion was. Well, ultimately, what happened in life is I took such circuitous route to come to where I came, but at each step of the way, I really gave it my all, whatever came along my way, and made it my mission. So it's a cycle.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm going to spin it some more, Madhulika. The way our mind works is that no matter where you are put, but your mind will find a way what you really love. And eventually your existence is such, human existence, that, whatever we really like, we are going to, no matter where we are put, we are going to find our way, because we are the most sophisticated creature of nature, and we are going to find our way. The answer to the main question on how do you find, what keeps you going, right? Wasn't that the main question? So, you know,
Yes.
some days are good, some days are not so good. Yes, we are in the place where there is passion and what we love we are doing. But, you know, I have found this one very important technique, and that is reinvent yourself daily. I don't want to be the same Dr. Shukla in 2020 as was in 2019. And I like to reinvent. So whenever things go not your way, take a pause, go back in your den and see how you can reinvent. And this helps not just in a personal way, but it also helps in your business way. Because your business also cannot be the same as it was 2 years ago and today. Because if you don't reinvent, your neighbor will. So constant reinvention of yourself and wherever you're working is what keeps life exciting and keeps you going. And then you're easily able to take the setbacks, and some days are not good. That's okay. You just go back and reinvent.
Thank you for all your wonderful replies. I'm sure we're all going to benefit from these replies. We still need to keep going. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Shanti.
Shanti.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sheila. Then we have a question. Our Jayshree want to share a few words. Jayshree, please unmute
Yeah,
and talk.
thank you, Mani, for the opportunity. Narmada, thank you so much. It's a very excellent title. The glimpse of the book, I think it will inspire most of the women to start reading about the book and get excited. I would like to take this opportunity. I'm very fortunate that I made to this meeting. I always wanted to hear and see Sheila Murthy. Okay, she is a veteran. She's amazing. I came to this country in 1994. If I say lawyer, she's the only one. I think of only one lawyer in the universe. I'm not exaggerating. She is very, very powerful. 94, when we came to this country, it's very difficult in terms of the immigration, right? Any question, everybody says, right? You just put it to Sheila Murthy, she will answer. She has been very powerful, very inspiring woman. I always admire her from distance. I've been admiring her for past 26 years. I will admire till I'm alive. And law is one of my passionate, but I've never been a lawyer. But thank you so much. I'm blessed to be here on this call today.
Thank you, Jayshree. It's an honor and privilege. And as they say, there's a confluence of luck and a whole bunch of factors that work together. And I truly feel so honored and humbled when someone says that their life was changed. And I think many of the honorees today said that if we can impact one life, and from that one life, if that ripple effect can change hundreds of lives and millions of lives and for generations to come. And so when Shanti asked the question, I feel not only do I change that one person's life with immigration and answer that one question, but that family forever changes, because when they come and settle down here, future generations' lives are changed forever. And what an incredible honor and privilege it is for my work. And similarly, I think every one of these people today spoke about how they think of their work, how they feel the passion, how they reinvent themselves, how they look at whatever is given to them and dissect it and make it into this incredible opportunity to leave a lasting legacy. So I am truly honored by your kind words, and it gives me the courage and the motivation to continue to do even more. So thank you, Jayshree.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Jayshree.
Jayshree. Thanks, Sheila. Narmada, 1 minute. Parimala wants to ask a question. You can unmute Parimala, but you may want to refer to a specific person if you want to ask, and then ask your question. Thanks.
Thank you. This question is not for one person. I'm sure everybody here is a mother, wife. So I'm a mom of young kids, so struggling between the passion and the kids right now. I just wanted to see any encouraging words or stories that you guys have when you were in that zone once, and then what helped you? Was it being patient, or something else that really worked for you to be here today, and not feeling a lot guilty about that mom guilt?
I would like to take this question. Um, you know, I have twins and I'm a pediatrician. And special children are sent to special parents. This is what I always tell to many parents. And like that, I had twins who were born with 2 pounds and 4 pounds weight, were in intensive care unit. One of my daughters could not eat or drink till 1 year, so we had to put in an NG tube and give milk through pumps. And when you are struggling on your home front with childcare, like you said, you have children, and of course there is an emotional toll that comes with children. I took strength in 2 ways. One, I always told myself that special children come to special parents. The second thing I thought is, I always tell in my day-to-day life that outsource domestic issues, just the way we do it in business. So all these issues, you have to cut it out in your mind as if you're running a business, and then outsource portions of it. And that's where the emotional independence actually took, that's where it came in my mind. And, in a lot of TED Talks and all I've given, I've been talking about this emotional independence. And you have to bring that emotional independence out of you at that stressful time and be able to outsource a lot of work. And the mainstay should be your partner. You have to be able to get that courage and say at that time that, that you are going to give some of that work to somebody else. If you're not going to be able to delegate at that time, you're not going to be able to reach your full potential. And I tell that to all the mothers, and I do come across, that's what I do for a living, right? So morning to evening, I see, lawyers, doctors, accountants, politicians, broadcasters, people in powerful position. Now they have children and they're not able to balance their life. So this has helped me, and I would like to think that many of them also have got helped.
Thank you. I don't know the name. It says Mercedes. Can you?
She's my Spanish professor.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to ask a question. First of all, I want to congratulate Narmada. I was very honored when she actually asked me to write one of the excerpts for one of the stories, to give a little bit of to read it and to give a little bit of what was my opinion or what I thought about these wonderful stories. I haven't read all the book yet, but what I read was completely amazing, and I congratulate to every single of the ladies who have been with us today and giving us so much of their perspective of their career. I really appreciate you taking the time for sharing with us your experiences. My question is about education. So being a teacher myself, I really have it's a very important spot for me, to what is education. In one occasion, I was listening to a keynote speaker for a graduating class. This was some way back. And he was encouraging, just as a giving advice to this new generation of students that were coming out to work, that as an advice for them was to take at least a year to teach, as a giving back to the community, that as a professionals at some point in their lives should be taking this time to teach others. And I would like to know that you, in your experience, in your professional life, have you been able to have the opportunity to teach others in certain capacity? So then, and how important to you is to teach others, not only women, but the public in general. So then, how you've been able to do that.
I don't know if anybody else wants to jump in, but I can certainly speak for a minute. I know in my work, we teach, I routinely give talks through the American Immigration Lawyers Association to teach other immigration lawyers, whether it is in the Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia area, or nationally or regionally or internationally, spoken in Salzburg and London and India and different parts of the world. On immigration law and issues dealing with immigration and the complexity of it. But also I do keynotes on women and leadership and empowerment and just feeling good about life. And I think it's so important along life's journey to think that if we have been so lucky and so blessed to have whatever we've enjoyed, to share that and to add a little bit of fun, to use the Indian term mirchi masala or sparkle in someone else's life. With the lives that we are so blessed to be able to lead. And so, yes, I love teaching. My father often described himself as the child of a poor school teacher. And one of his main things he always said is, if any of you are lucky to do anything with your lives, remember, life will have no meaning if you don't enrich and empower other people. And so even through the Murthy.com website, which is the world's most popular legal website, which Jayashree was referring to, we educate, enlighten, and empower people to understand immigration law for 26 years. And 26 years ago, back in 1994, internet was just starting. It was the dark ages of the internet, and very Anna, you want to put your phone on mute? Yeah, so very few people were educating anybody. So just being able to educate, empower, and enlighten people to me was very important. And I remember a lot of immigration lawyers actually got very angry because they were like, why are you giving away all this advice for free when we can charge a lot of money for it in consultations? Why are you doing that? And we knew that my husband, who was a professor, creative artist, long hair, beard, looks like Rabindranath Tagore, Madhulika will be pleased, basically said the internet is going to change the world, change the future. Don't worry if they say past comments about why are you doing this, just give it away. And like, life, the more you give, the more you receive. I know it's in many, many religions, the more thou shalt give, the more thou shalt receive. And so God has been kind to us. And so as we've continued to do well, we've continued to share the knowledge and the wealth and everything and all of the philanthropy and charities and the millions of dollars that we give away to different charities, both in my birth country of India and in my adopted country of the United States of America. I believe it's like two hands that clap. Without one, I wouldn't have been able to do the other. So it's a blessing. And thank you for that question, Mercedes. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the answer. I appreciate it as well.
Yeah, Miss Mercedes is a wonderful teacher, and I took her first class, Spanish class, 2-3 years back, and I stick to her for 2.5 years, all my sessions. I think I took more than 10 or 12 sessions with her. She's a wonderful teacher. Because of her, today I can speak the language, and I have the confidence when I travel to the countries where the Spanish-speaking people I meet. I'm really thankful to her. And also I want to mention Dr. Madhulika is also a teacher, and Nimisha was also teaching in the universities. And the ladies who are all powerful today, they're also teaching. Everybody is teaching, the world every day.
So then I'm glad that, so then to be in company such a wonderful women, and I appreciate it. Narmada, you have been one of the reasons why I think teachers is still in business. Students that want to progress, that want to learn, that will keep going forward. And I think that's what it keeps us as educators, keep us alive and keep us going. So having people that want to be engaged and have knowledge on in any branch or in any career. So that is a good compliment for me. Thank you. And for every teacher in the world. Thanks.
It's well past the time for the guests. So if you would like to conclude.
Okay. So we have come to the end part of the, the event. just, I want to thank everyone here. First, I want to thank all the participants who joined us today by sacrificing their weekend hours. I would like to thank these wonderful women who trusted me and accepted to feature their life in my book. It was so hard for them to accommodate their time in the middle of their busy life. Still, they all cooperated and patiently answered all my questions in the interviews and gave me great support. I enjoyed a great deal working with them. Thanks to my friend Padmini, who accepted to do forward for my book, and my friends Sushma, Marley, Professor Mercedes, Graciela, and Habiba, who read my chapters and reviewed it for me. I would like to recognize them here today. My family was always behind me whenever I needed any help. Without all of you, this book wouldn't be possible. I'm truly grateful for all your contribution to this book. I'm very happy to announce that this book is going to be translated in Tamil and also possibly be prescribed for a university in Tamil Nadu representing immigrant literature.
Wow, nice.
That's really awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you so
Narmada, for
much.
your courage.
Thank you so
Kind of
much.
call upon each one of us, and that's you are showing what empowerment and reaching out is. You have to step out. So thank you very much for what you have done.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Madhulika.
Thank you so much. Such an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Narmada.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Narmada.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice.
Congratulations, Namda.
Thank you, Jagruti. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. I am ending the meeting now.
Congrats, Narmada. So proud of you
Congrats,
guys.
Narmada. Mani, thank you
Thank
for
you all.
coordinating the session, and congrats, Narmada. And it's wonderful to see everybody here. And awesome.
Thank you.
You guys
Hey,
motivate all of us.
Congratulations, Narmada. So happy for you. So
Thank
happy
you.
to, yeah. We will read the book shortly. Yeah. God bless. All the best.
Thank you.
Okay, I think you forgot to tell us where can we get your book?
Okay, the book
Because,
is available. Okay, it's on Amazon. It's available. The Kindle copy is ready now. The paperback will be ready in few days. It will take few days to get the paperback copy. The Kindle copy is available in Amazon. If you just type Breaking Boundaries and my name, it will be there.
Okay. Okay, well, perfect.
I'll send the links to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Narmada. Congratulations, Namrata. So proud of you.
Thank you.